Hello, everybody. This is your 3 News Now update. I am Ben Axelrod, filling in for Stephanie Haney. And let's start with our coronavirus numbers in the state of Ohio. Looking back at Monday's numbers, we have cases are slightly down. However, hospitalizations, ICU, and death is slightly up. On Monday, we had 361 new coronavirus cases. That is down slightly from 365 cases on Sunday. As far as deaths are concerned, on Monday, we had 27 new deaths. That is up from the 7 new reported deaths on Sunday. Hospitalizations, we had 53 new ones on Monday. That is up from the 37 new hospitalizations we had on Sunday. As far as patients currently in the hospital, we currently have 644. That's an increase of 16 and a decrease of 43 known active hospitalizations from Sunday. In ICU admissions, we had 11 new ICU admissions on Monday. That is up, from the 7 we had on Sunday. And then patients currently in the ICU, we had an increase of 5 on Monday. That's a decrease of the 16 known ICU active cases we had on Sunday. Moving on to today's news, Cedar Point announcing reopening plans. Although amusement parks in Ohio have been cleared to open in Ohio starting on June 19th, Cedar Point has announced that it is planning on opening on July 9th. Its parent company, Cedar Fair, announced on Tuesday morning. Company officials also revealed that Kings Island, which is located near Cincinnati, will be opening a week earlier on July 2nd. Among the changes, Cedar Point will require guests and associates to wear masks at all times, including while on rides. Exceptions have been made for guests while they are dining. A park spokesperson, Tony Clark, tells 3 News that rides will also have appropriate seating for social distancing. And once the park opens its gates, access will first be limited for pass holders as outlined by the following tentative operating dates. Season pass holders will be given an invitation to make reservations first, followed by guests who pre-purchased tickets on that day. A new online reservation system to manage capacity and facilitate appropriate social distancing. A health screen and temperature check for each guest, associate, vendor who enters the park. New social distancing protocols throughout the park, and the requirement for guests, associates, and vendors to wear masks at all times. Cedar Fair has yet to announce opening dates for any of their water parks just yet. So sound off on social media. Let us know if you think it's too early, too late, and what you think about these measures that the parks are taking when they reopen. And here we're going to have Cedar Point reopening on July 9th. Moving on, a big story today, George Floyd to be laid to rest in Houston. George Floyd, of course, was the 46-year-old black man who died in Minneapolis on Memorial Day while being arrested. He had a police officer's knee over his neck. That police officer has been charged with second-degree homicide. The man was crying out his mother's name. The video has sparked protests, drawn the attention of the national media, drawn the attention of really the world, and led to protests regarding racial equality throughout the United States. Yesterday, we reported that Floyd's body had arrived in his hometown of Houston, and today, after several funerals and services remembering the man, he will finally be put to rest. This comes a day after Tuesday's funeral. It will be private. Monday, a public memorial was held in Houston where he grew up. 6,000 people, around that number, attended. And under a blazing Texas sun, mourners wore T-shirts with Floyd's picture or the words, "I can't breathe," one of the things he cried out repeatedly while being pinned down by the police officer, and people waited hours to pay their respects. Moving on, a local doctor expects a surge in COVID-19 cases in late June or early July due to these protests. The United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says it's closely monitoring the demonstrations throughout the United States in wake of George Floyd's death. According to Dr. Nicholas Dreyer, medical director of the Population Health Innovation Institute at Metro Health Systems, it is not a matter of if there will be a spike, but when. He also says hospitals across Northeast Ohio are prepared, and that the hope is that it could be a small bump, which is a possibility. For 2 weeks, thousands of protesters are making their voices heard throughout the country. Dr. Dreyer said, you will probably see the bumps from now until the 4th of July if the protests end today. Now, every day they go on, it extends the potential bumps past the 4th of July. Dr. Dreyer also told 3 News that he is absolutely certain that we will be seeing a bump. And Dr. Dreyer says that is because there are hundreds of thousands of people protesting, and some of the people statistically have to be carrying the coronavirus, whether they are symptomatic or not. Officials have warned protesters to try to continue those social distancing protocols as much as they can, including staying away from others and still wearing masks. But many health professionals are still concerned over a possible surge or a second wave. If you're going out, whether it's to the demonstration or to the grocery store, just continue to protect yourself and others. Another story hitting social media today, hashtag pull up or shut up. And that is it's trending on social media, and it's encouraging companies to release their numbers on diversity. It's a hashtag forcing companies big and small to reveal their diversity. Hashtag put up or shut up is a movement created by Sharon Shooter, CEO of cosmetics company Uoma Beauty. You cannot say Black Lives Matter publicly when you don't show us that Black Lives Matter within your own homes and within your organization, says Shooter. The concerns is that companies are promoting messages that don't match the diversity in their companies. Shooter says it equates to a PR stunt if a company says they believe in racial equality, yet they themselves are not an accurate representation of true diversity, especially among their leadership teams. Cleveland-based marketing and communication expert Lauren R. Welch says this is an opportunity for companies to get real with themselves. I think it says that they haven't been talking, which a lot of us have known, equity and inclusion. A lot of them haven't been taking equality and inclusion very seriously, says Welch. Companies like Milk, Makeup, Revlon, and others are now revealing the diversity of their staff and leadership team and acknowledging they have work to do to diversify at all levels. And part of the call of action with the hashtag was not to shop at businesses until they revealed their diversity numbers. Although it started with the beauty industry, it's now spreading to consumers in other industries, and those consumers are taking notice of where they do and where they don't want to shop. That's going to do it for me. Thanks for joining us for our early afternoon update. Please join us at 2 p.m. when we will have another update on the COVID-19 numbers. Thanks.